Hi, and welcome to Nightlight. Our guest on the program today, speaking to us from Seattle, Washington, in the USA, is singer, songwriter, and producer Jerry Paladino. Nice to have you back with us on the show, Jerry. It's been a while.
Thank you for inviting me. It's always exciting and a blessing for me personally.
Jerry, as you know, I've been playing your beautiful songs on my radio shows for almost 50 years, imagine. And it's great to know that you're still producing new songs and that you're working on a new album called New Songs in My Mouth, Golden Anniversary album. Maybe you could introduce some of the songs that you've already produced for it.
So yeah, these are songs I got at the beginning of my relationship with him. So it was 1972 that I made the decision to follow him, which was the start of this love relationship with him and me progressing down the path that he was choosing. So these first few years, it could only be described as my honeymoon years, because I was getting to know him, what he was like, how he thought, and of course every day learning to love him more and more, and ultimately leaving my independence and willfulness behind as he led me into an amazing new life that I couldn't even have ever imagined. I always tell people, well, he took me beyond my wildest dreams onto the secret desires of my heart, things I didn't even know I wanted. So the songs on this album were all written in those first few years together. When you listen to the lyrics and stuff like that, there's a simplicity and a sort of an innocence and understanding that's kind of basic as a new believer. For me, it seemed interesting. They're basically what I lived during those times, what I saw and felt. And all I could do when I thought about recording was hope that they would be enjoyable and relatable to people as they look back on their first days together or as they start their personal journey along with this amazing being who gave his life for us all and caused us to love him because he first loved us.
Encouraging you how very dearly Jesus loves you. You're listening to Nightlight.
Well, Jerry, we haven't included songs on the Nightlight podcast for a few years now as we've been focusing more on Bible teaching. So it's a nice change to have a musical show again, and I'm looking forward to hearing your first song.
So the first song is called He Changed My Life. At that time, as a young believer, 50 years ago, I had so many questions. But I couldn't deny that the moment I asked the right one, he answered and came into my heart. Came in as promised. And the summary of this song is basically in the chorus. He changed my life, set me free, gave me what I really needed, gave me what I really wanted, took away those chains I thought I needed so bad.
Questions running all around you, don't know what you want to do. Is he fact or is he fiction? You've heard so many stories, don't know what to do. He changed my life, set me free, gave me what I really needed, gave me what I really wanted, took away those chains I thought I needed so bad. Now all those things won't make you happy, carnal things can't satisfy a hungry soul that needs a feeding, a little child that needs to cry. He changed my life, set me free, gave me what I really needed, gave me what I really wanted, took away those chains I thought I needed so bad. Stands at the door and knocks, if any man should hear his voice and dare to open the door, he will come into him. He changed my life and set me free. He gave me what I really needed, gave me what I really wanted, took away those chains I thought I needed. He changed my life and set me free. He gave me what I really needed, gave me what I really wanted, took away those chains I thought I needed so bad.
Beautiful. And thanks, Jerry, also for preparing the visuals that go along with these songs. That's something we've never had on the show before. Super.
Of course, for me that's always better. I enjoy seeing the message much more than watching the messenger. So that's why I make those videos, actually.
Jerry, having played your songs on my radio shows for so many years, I know most of them very well. But the songs that you're introducing to us on the program today, I haven't heard before, except this next one, God Gives His Very Best, which has always been one of my favorites. So I'm eager to hear when and why you wrote it.
Well, this came at a special time because there was somebody in my life. Okay, I've been serving the Lord a year or two, and at that time I thought I had found the one, and I was going for it, putting all my hopes in that pretty little basket and spending a lot of time, thought, and energy into thinking about her, daydreaming about her, and pursuing her. So somebody mentioned this phrase, which is the summary of the song, God gives the very best to those who leave the choices up to Him. You know, and it just rang true, and I went off and I got this song. We all want the very best for ourselves, and all the time if possible, right? But obviously we don't always know what that is, or what's really best for us in the long run. So we tend to go for what we see before us, especially when it looks inviting, like this person did. She was very pretty. That didn't work out anyway, and things have changed and worked out much better. So looking back now, I can only be awestruck by all I gained by letting go. I've received the very best in so many areas, and will be eternally grateful to Him for His wise choices for me.
The very best to those who leave the choices up to Him. God gives the very best to those who leave the choices up to Him. So put that thing down, get your hands off those goodies. God gives the very best to those who leave the choices up to Him. Straight and narrow, goodies on both sides, being tempted with the riches, blacking out the light that's in your eyes. Don't act so surprised, just remember, God gives the very best to those who leave the choices up to Him. God gives the very best to those who leave their choices up to Him. So put that thing down, get your hands off those goodies. God gives the very best to those who leave the choices up to Him. God loves to give to us more than we do to receive. Forget those things you think you want. God's got something better up His sleeve. Trust, obey, believe, and remember, God gives the very best to those who leave their choices up to Him. God gives the very best to those who leave their choices up to Him. Nothing Just follow me and remember, God gives the very best to those who leave the choices up to Him. God gives the very best to those who leave the choices up to Him. So put that thing down, get your hands off those goodies. God gives the very best to those who leave the choices up to Him. God gives the very best to those who leave the choices up to Him. Gives the very best to those who leave the choices up to Him.
Nightlight's interview of the week
is with international recording artist, singer and songwriter Jerry Paladino. And he's introducing songs from his Golden Anniversary album, He Put New Songs in My Mouth. Tell us, Jerry, the story behind the third song on this album. It has an interesting title, That Seems Crazy, Lord. What's that about?
So in the lyrics, you see the kind of questions I was asking back then in 1973 when I first started following Jesus, and the kind of lessons I was learning at the time. I was looking around at me and things going on, had so much to ask, and I knew I had the answer, man. So this is the time to ask. So those are some of the questions and my lessons. So my main lesson is trust your questions to the one who sees the past, present, and future, and knows every outcome and the reasoning behind it all. He sees the big picture. We know from the Bible that His ways are not our ways. He knows the best about everything, and we should trust Him. The summary is in the chorus, that seems crazy, Lord, so crazy. But I know that you know what you're doing. It's all part of your plan.
Why are some people born blind? Is it just to help me appreciate my eyes? That seems crazy, Lord, oh so crazy, Lord. But I know that you know what you're doing. It's all part of your plan. And why is the world so full of hate? Is it just to teach me hunger for your love? That seems crazy, Lord, oh so crazy, Lord. But I know that you know what you're doing. It's all part of your plan. Life is a teacher, teaching us how to laugh, to live, to love, and to cry. We'll be much better seeing this all than living our lives with the blind. Life is a mother raising a son, teaching him how to be. Now don't you grow bitter, it's all in His plan. Would you rather not know her at all? It all seems crazy, Lord, oh so crazy, Lord. But I know that you know what you're doing. It's all part of your plan. Now life is a lover, caressing at times, at other times bringing such pain. You've just got to love her, though oftentimes she's cruel. As you love her, she'll love you the same. Life is a question asking us now, which way you gonna choose? Now will it be Jesus and love evermore?
Jerry, the last time I saw you was way back in the 80s, wasn't it? In the Philippines. We worked together for a couple of years on the International Music with Meaning show. Since then, I know you've lived in different countries and you've been a missionary, a musical missionary in many parts of the world. Tell us, where are you now and what are you up to?
Yeah, I've learned to trust his wisdom in things. That's kind of a repeating theme in my songs and in my life. Anyway, right now, I mean, we've had to trust God for so many things. Again, 50 years following him. He leads you here, he leads you there. You never know where you're going to end up. So we've been in Asia, we've been in Mexico, South America, and recently we moved to the United States. It's 50 years I lived abroad, so this is a brand new country for me. We came at a crazy time, and things have only escalated in craziness day by day. But we're happy here. We're living with a daughter and 2 grandkids, her husband, on a mother-in-law house, and it's just lovely, lovely farm area. So since we were having to slow down for health reasons and age and stuff, it's just been nice to be able to do it in a place like this with those we love.
Shining Love's Light. You're listening to Nightlight.
Okay, Jerry, let's get on to the next song.
So this one's called I'd Love to Be There. And it's a song I wrote after receiving a letter from my best friend, almost my only true friend that I had throughout my turbulent teen years. This friend had watched me in my restless search for love, truth, peace, happiness, and was the first person on earth that I wanted to share my newfound joy with when I found all that at last. It was also my invitation for him to come join me in my mission to share Jesus' love and message with the world. As a side point, his conversion in our youth was a point of extreme anguish for me. I felt betrayed. I had lost my best friend when he had found the true best friend, Jesus. And my conversion against all odds a few years later was the reason that I wanted to write him and rejoice together. Although we never lived or worked together again, he went on to become a pastor, giving his life in service to God where he was, and I serving God where I was called. So the summary of the song is in the second verse. I found the answer. I found the thing that you watched me search for so long. I was so restless, content with nothing. Though things seemed good to all, to me they all seemed wrong.
It sure was good to hear from you again. Things are great here, though I really miss you. Each day my life seems to begin again. And I love to be there with you, to tell you of my joy. I'd love to be there with you, to show you how this little boy's been changed. Ooh. I found the answer. I found the thing that you watched me search for so long. I was so restless, content with nothing. Though things seemed good to all, to me it all seemed wrong. And I'd love to be there with you, to tell you of my joy. I'd love to be there with you, to show you how this little boy's been changed. Yeah. want to give this to those who'll take it. A love like this is truly meant for all. They all need Jesus, but who will give it? Is there a man out there to answer to the call? And I'd love to see you here right now to tell you of my joy. I'd love to see you here right now to show you how I've changed. I'd love to see you here right now to tell you of my joy. I'd love to see you here right now to show you how this little boy is being changed. I'm changed. Oh, how I'm changed.
We have a guest tonight on Nightlight.
And our guest is my dear friend, Jerry Paladino. And Jerry, over the past 50 years, how many songs have you written? You're one of the most prolific songwriters that I've ever known. How many songs do you have on your platforms?
Well, I wish I knew that. And I wish I knew how many I have up there. That's immediately after the show, I'm going to go count them.
I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah, no, and more than that, I'm always interested in the next one, you know. What's the next?
Right. Well, you've written some real classics, but these ones that you're playing on the show today, I'm not at all familiar with.
Well, that's probably one of the reasons you never heard them is because as I grew in the Lord also, I realized, well, these are kind of simplistic, and I had gone on to writing other things. So it is fun pulling them back and walking down memory lane with them. Like this one is probably one you heard before. Someone said something, which I wanted to paraphrase. It says, well, what do you like the most about Christianity or people? Christians. What do you like the least about Christianity or people? Christians. It's kind of with us believers, you get a mixed bag, as with any company you work for, any home or any set of family members, you get the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I had accepted Jesus into my heart and life at around 8, during a puppet show. I prayed with the puppet. And the seed was planted in my heart, which changed me forever. All my life I had heard Bible stories, Bible heroes, Jesus being my favorite, of course. But sadly, as I grew up into the tumultuous teen years, that changed. I lost faith in the Bible, all it taught, and mostly due to the failure of believers to live the example that Jesus gave us all. Thankfully, during a critical time in my young life, I met some young believers who were doing their best to follow the New Testament and live as Jesus taught. And that turned my life around. If you've seen the movie Jesus People, that's kind of my story in many ways. Anyway, at that point, I returned to faith in him and belief that his plan was the best for mankind. So the summary of this song is in the verse that says, now I've got a workable Jesus, not like they said he'd be, Christians, because he abolished slavery and set the captives free. I was a slave and I was a captive, and he set me free.
I'm an old runaway Christian, was saved at 8 years old, but it took 10 years for the truth to reach my home. Now I'd heard a lot of talking about that way of life, but hadn't ever seen it done, till I met some folks who walked the walk, showed it's for everyone. Now everybody say that they've got the way to work their way to heaven, but these people are waiting on the mercies of God, and they're halfway there. So now I got some brothers and sisters, and I'm not alone. All I had to do was just quit trying to make it on my own. That's right. Jesus who loves to sing and dance. Now, who are they that say that Jesus isn't fun, but sober and saintly? Maybe some hyper-religious, super self-righteous types who won't take the chance to get up and dance for fear of tearing their pants. Well, now I've got a workable Jesus, not like they said he'd be, 'cause he abolished slavery and set the captives free. You know my Jesus, but I'm not sure, 'cause he'd have made your head stop spinning and your feet secure. Like I said, I had him from the age of 8, but things kept going rough till I just stopped all my trying and let him do his stuff. Compared to the Son of God, thinking we can make ourselves happy. Well, I got tired of fooling myself and gave it to Jesus, who healed my diseases. Now I do as he pleases. So I would like to say in conclusion that I'm finally free, just being what the Son of God has told his people to be, and doing what the Son of God has told his people to do. Just being what the Son of God has told his people to be. Yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Jerry, this is such a good idea to go back and produce some of these songs from your very early years. I mean, most of these songs you wrote back in the early 70s. That's way back. Have you been carrying them around in the back of your mind all these 50 years? How did you remember these songs?
Well, I wish I could say like, the Jews, the Jewish history of the Bible and everything, that I had reviewed them and memorized them and brought them all back. But no, not having a long memory, I had a short pencil or a pen, and so I wrote everything down. And I had these lyrics, and some I actually have more, but some of them I have forgotten the melodies to, or I've forgotten some of the words to, or some of the pages are missing. So these are the ones that actually have survived.
It's Nightlight. What a delight.
Okay, this song called How Can We Forget Him, I received on a flight from New York to Puerto Rico, and this was way back in 1972. Actually, this would be earlier than some of the other ones in the list that we've done. At the time, I was a new believer, and having only recently decided to follow Jesus where he led and given my life into his hands. So I'd spent the last few months struggling with raising the faith and the funds to go to the mission field as a self-supported volunteer. Stepping out, not knowing whither I went, kind of like Abraham. I mean, I didn't really know what the future held. I was an American who thought he was never going to leave the United States. That particular stressful fight of fundraising, etc., was now over. I was sitting in the plane, looking back at all I had just been through to get where I was now sitting and where I was heading. At that point, I was realizing that in all my struggles to do what he said and go where he led, I had somehow forgotten him in the whole process and my zeal to serve him. I began to reflect on all the wonderful things I had gained through giving up my life, my independence, submitting everything to him, his will, and greater wisdom. And the summary message is in the chorus. How can we forget him like we do?
Got a new life, a brand new start, and the best part's coming round the bend. How can we forget him? How can we forget him? do. Got a new day coming. Each day is better than the day that came before. How can we forget him? How can we forget him? How can we forget him like we do? Got a new love for everybody, from the Creator to the people of His world. Oh, how can we forget Him? How can we forget Him? How can we forget Him like we do? Got a new hope for tomorrow, to give us courage for the things we face today. Oh, how can we forget Him? Oh, how can we forget Him? Forget Him like we do.
You're listening to an international edition of Nightlight, shining God's love light to the world.
So, Jerry, we're down now to the last song that you're going to introduce on this program, but I understand that this album is a work in progress. How many songs are you going to have?
I'm not sure exactly. It's looking like a total of 10 songs, which is kind of a nice size for an album. I have 3 more, I believe, slotted, and I hope to get to them. Because it's a joy looking back at these things. It's wonderful memories, and again, it's fun to look back on where you've come from as you face the mountain ahead of what's ahead. Because you can see back, like my wife and I talk about all the time. It's just when we have a financial problem or some problem, health problem or whatever. It's like, look, He's brought us all this way. Here we are. He's fulfilled His word. He's kept His promises. We're not sick or dying. We have what we need this month. We've made it this far by faith in Him. And so, of course, He's going to take care of us. So my hope and prayer is that, of course, I'm going to finish these 10 songs, and hopefully within this year. As I said, I'm doing other songs and projects as well. So this last song is called Time to Sing. So I'd been in Brazil like 2 years. Brazil's a country that I loved so much, and I loved the Brazilian people. It was just wonderful. And there I was doing what I enjoyed most, serving my Lord and my fellow man as taught by Jesus of Nazareth, the way I understood it. So I was now 2 years into my honeymoon, very active and busy with lots of important ministering. My honeymoon with Jesus, I mean, and beginning to find, I'm missing or lacking something in my life. And coming to the conclusion, I needed to slow down the work of the Lord and take time to praise and worship the Lord of the work. He was, after all, the reason for everything I was doing. But I was realizing I needed to spend time with Him in praise and worship. as a musician, when I put on a song, I end up listening to it technically and tearing it apart. How'd they do this? How'd they do that? At this point in my life, I just needed to stop doing all of that and just spend time with him in praise and worship. And the summary of the message is in the chorus. There are so many good things to do, but Lord, you know I need to lay them down and sing to you.
Crowded and the nights are full. So much happening, what a load to pull. Keeping busy has been my dream, but Lord, you know I really need that time to stop and sing. Jesus, give me back my love for the music and the time to sing a song. Jesus, give me back my love for the music and the time to sing along. Jesus, give me back my love for the music and the time to sing a song. Jesus, give me back my love for the music and the time to sing along. We've got a dream to build. Empty souls and empty worlds to fill. There are so many good things to do, but Lord, you know I need to lay them down and sing. Jesus, give me back my love for the music and the time to sing a song. Jesus, give me back my love for the music and the time to sing along. Oh, Jesus, give me back my love for the music and the time to sing a song. And help me not to take the world on my shoulders, and give me time to sing along, to sing a song, to sing a song, sing a song.
Jerry, thanks for those 7 great songs, and I'm looking forward to hearing the 3 more that you're going to be adding to the album. Please come back on the show when you're ready to introduce them. Anything else that you'd like to say today on this program?
No, thanks for those that have prayed for me, and it's always nice to hear encouragement when people write and say, oh, this song helped me, this song changed me, this song I liked, the song I hated, whatever. You know, it's nice to know. Sometimes we just work on stuff and never hear back. Never stops us, but you know, you kind of, when you get a chance to hear appreciation of any kind or a reaction, it's nice. And anyway, so yeah, I'll be working on more songs about what I'm living and learning at 73. Seems both those things, living and learning, never end. I mean, we never stop learning, and those that are believers will live forever. We live forever. I'm counting on that, and I'll be busy for eternity, it seems. And I look forward to coming back and playing those last 3 songs in the future date, Chris. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, thanks so much, Jerry. And you will find the links to Jerry's YouTube website and Bandcamp platforms below, where you can listen to and view many, many more of Jerry Paladino's beautiful and meaningful songs. Time for me to go. Hope you enjoyed the show. I'll be back again with you soon. God bless you. Bye for now.